right, good morning, everyone. I'm not here as Thai Cannabis Corporation this morning. I'm here for these other reasons. I'm chairman of the Thailand Cannabis Council with the Rotary Club International, bringing professionals together to help sort out the business side. I'm also the administrator of Wat Buku Dang in Chayapum, which is a medicine production factory for Thai traditional medicine. And I'm also the administrator of Wat Kiriwang down in Chumpon, also a Thai traditional medicine factory under the Grand Monks. I'm also advisor of the Thai Ministry of Defense for Veterans Affairs. We seek to employ veterans as first preference for employment. I'm also advisor for the Thai Disabled People's Association, people that are in handicapped wheelchairs or otherwise immobilized. And all our farms are the equivalent of the American Disabled Act, so that handicapped people can farm medical cannabis as well. And I'm also advisor to the president of Burapha Union, which comprises of all the people that we've been working with for the last 12 years to teach them how to grow commercial cannabis and hemp and medical grade cannabis as well. And now we have somewhere in the neighborhood of 18,000 possible hiring employees that are competent in greenhouse operations for cannabis. I'm also the Vice President of Foreign Affairs for Burapha Union, which also comprises of many other associations and foundations that put on the festivals around Thailand with the Ministry of Tourism. And between the administrative positions of the two Wats, we have clinics in Wats throughout Thailand. And we've networked them together. And by networking them together, we have mobile tourist buses that are converted into mobile clinics so that we can service the rural areas that don't have enough population to warrant a clinic. So we're mobile. The other part about that is that our relationship with Burapha Union means that whenever there's a festival and supported by the Ministry of Tourism, we bring our bus there. We bring our clinic to the festival so that we can service patients both with the different Thai traditional medicines and other medicines that will be coming from other companies, and have a first aid station at our festivals. I'm also a member of the TVA Institute here in Bangkok. TVA Institute is the think tank that is being used by the ministers and cabinet and other high-level officials to sort through different issues and problems and massage as we go along what is fair and beneficial to everybody. Next slide, please.
Sir, if you want, you can control your own presentation.
Oh, I can?
Device.
Oh.
You press the arrow to the right.
To the right? Okay. The subject today is the Kingdom of Thailand and its emergence in the cannabis industry and the rise of the Canna-Dollar or Canna-Bot. To understand where we are going, we need to understand where it begins. And it begins with His Majesty King Bhumibol Adulyadej with the Royal Project Foundation. His work, his life's work of designing self-sustainability and self-sustainable and self-sufficient farms is where the foundation of this began. He came up with a plan of how to redesign farmers for the modern age, for the modern world. When he was done with the sustainability plan, he realized that sustainability as a foundation, as a base, is great, but we also need an economic engine attached to that. So he asked his wife, Queen Sirikit, to conduct the Royal Hemp and Cannabis Project. And that went on for 20 years, and that's how I got involved in all this. It starts with the new theory of sustainability, that all our farms are compliant with Royal projects. My own personal farm, is the first farm in Thailand to be blueprinted, completely blueprinted and topographically mapped and inventoried by Royal Projects, certified Royal Projects farm. On top of that, we added the biocircular economy to the farm. In other words, we took the Queen Sirikit project, put it on top of the Royal certification for Royal Projects farm to become a cannabis farm. Then the next thing we did is we made our farm completely secure according to the United Nations Narcotics Treaty, so that we could have import and export between countries. Now, the difference between what's happening here versus what's happening in the Western world can be explained as different philosophies. Western philosophy follows what's called the Milton Friedman doctrine. It's kind of like the winner takes all corporate model of representing shareholders' benefit, even if it means reducing costs and cutting back and all this kind of model. The model here in Thailand, the economic financial model here in Thailand is what we call a win-win or middle path. And it's comprised of the ethos, pathos, and logos of how Thai people relate to one another socially, okay? So we have everything in moderation, first of all, and then reasonableness and self-immunity. Self-immunity means that we grow our own food, we grow our own herbs, we produce as much as we can on that farm, not to the exclusivity of cannabis alone. We do all these other things as well. So we import knowledge, the knowledge condition, the exchange of technology, that why you're all here, and the integrity condition. And this is where Rotary Club and what I do comes into play. We build up the Thai farms to have the internal integrity, not only of the farm, but of the people that you're going to contract with. Conversely, we do the same thing with people that come to Thailand, looking to joint venture or get into business. We're developing a system to make sure that everybody's fair, and equitable. For us, on the farming side, everything that we do is by the smart farming policy. We have 12.4 million farmers here in Thailand that are moving towards hemp and cannabis. We have the progress rate. We're moving as fast as we can. We have over 2.2 million rye already certified organic and already certified for royal projects. The new theory farming system is broken down into 30, 30, 30, 10. And all our farms that are cannabis ready for export follow the King's plan of 30% for water retention, 30% for forestry and fruit, 30% for economic crops, 10% for housing and infrastructure. This is the model. Now, what this means is that if you're here to open up an extraction factory or anything along those lines, you still have an obligation to this, even though you're not a farmer. So what we're doing is that we invite you as an extractor or whatever your business is to give us your ESG, your economic, social, governance credits. And we'll apply those credits to independent farmers to help them transfer their farms into this model. Okay, so we're looking at that kind of program with Rotary Club. The procedure for moving from monoculture crops to polyculture crops is an implementation phase that we have to go through. So there's this process, and it takes up to about 90 days to go through the process. And we're looking for support from the outside. In other words, the exchange of technology side. The challenges are the difference between Western thought, Western philosophy, and East meets West, so to say. So these are the challenges that we're dealing with: financial, economic, social, cultural, environment, and others. If you guys would like a copy of this, I'd be more than happy to give it to you. This is something you really need to understand, because what's happening here in Thailand isn't so much like what happened back in America or Canada, where everybody just cowboyed up and just started running and doing it. Here it's a social shift. Everything that's happening here is a cultural shift of consciousness. And that's what we need to understand. It's a social shift of consciousness. The vehicle that we started after the Royal Projects, when the Queen's Circuit Royal Hemp Project started, They didn't have an economic model. So what we did is we started this company as a vehicle to start making national business plans and different types of business plans, addressing different types of economic models as a think tank. When the law changed, we started bringing together all the different associations, federations, foundations, with Pacquiao, Burapa, Organic Standards. We joined together with Burapa Union. We went with the Organic Standards in Nakan-Rashasima, the organization of network for organic farmers, Fair Trade Network, and the Thai traditional medicine monks. Okay? There's several different things about the Thai traditional medicine. You have the regulatory part, you have the monks, and then you have the doctors, 3 different ones. We work with doctors and we work with the monks in particular. Then we cooperate with Royal Projects, with the Handicap Association, Ministry of Defense, Rotary International, Department of Corrections, because Thailand has overcrowded prisons and we have a bunch of men that need to be released back into society and they need jobs. So I do a training program in the prison how to grow this plant and how to make the soil, how to make the fertilizer, how to start. So when they get out, they're not going back into the criminal world, they're coming into our world. We work with the TVA Institute, Rotary International around the world, United Nations, and the World Health Organization. These are our clinics. This is our clinic in Chayapum for Wat Bukudang. This is our clinic in Chumphon, and I invite you to come down on the 9th of April. We're having a meeting down there. And this is our union of motorcycles and different gangs, cowboys and Indians, and all the festival people, all the workers that you see at 7-Eleven that are stuck in a rut for their monthly income. So we work with that and elevating people to a better income. We have 2 projects that we just recently was able to get certified by the Securities Exchange Commission and Stock Exchange of Thailand called Wealthy Farmer and Rewarding Planet. And one's predicated on the other. Wealthy Farmer, basically what we've done is we've taken RFID tags that we normally put on trees and plants like we do in the United States. Whereas in the United States, we do that for regulatory control with the state. Here, what we've done is we've coupled it together with a document called a Certificate of Trust. So the RFID tag is an addressable tag to this tree or to this cannabis plant. And then we marry that to a Certificate of Trust with the Securities Exchange of Thailand. And now we have a fungible token. This is the rise of the Canna-Dollar. Rewarding Planet is the platform in which we sell these tokens internationally. And we're looking at the cryptocurrency situation now about that. So basically somebody in another country that has $100 in their pocket and wants to get involved in the cannabis industry can get involved in the cannabis industry by the production of one plant. You don't need $100 million. You don't need $10 million. All you need is $100. Buy one token that's certified by Thailand through the Securities Exchange and stock market in Thailand. This is the process for receiving the Certificate of Trust, and this is also where all the associations that we have created with Royal Projects, the Organic Standards, Fair Trade, all these other things come in through the green industry. Then once we have the addressable RFID tag in place, we apply for the Certificate of Trust, they get coupled together, and now we have trade value, open market trade value. Right now, we thought that the token was going to come out to be about $100 for one, about 3,000 baht. But now it looks like it's trending at more like 10,500 baht for one token. Yeah, so we're watching that very closely. The Canna-Dollar and the tree bot is based on these RFID tags that we put on our plants. The unique thing about our tags compared to tags that's been used in the past is that tags in the past, you had to walk up to the tag and actually shoot it with a gun. Our tags are certified by the USDA that have a read-write broadcast distance of 5 meters. What that means to us is that we can fly over our fields with drones, and we can log the data from each of our tags. These tags are so sensitive that if the tag moves so much as 6 centimeters, it will record it. And it also has it can see the mass of the plant as it gets wider and bigger. So we can actually extrapolate what the output should be pre-harvest. We're all working on that very hard. When this all began, it began as a social movement and a shift of culture from what it was before. And these are the men that were part of it. These are the men that started it, that changed the culture. This is Lung Tu, Buntun, this is Sparks, and this is PDL. And we're the group that's pretty much fought to change the laws in Thailand. I put them up there because they have passed, they have left us. I knew in order to grow, I had to be in the dirt, covered in darkness, and struggle to reach the light. All of the flowers of all the tomorrows are in the seeds of today. So that's what we do. We're here to make sure that everything is fair and equitable and be a support vehicle for you. We're not here to compete with you. We're not here to step on you. We're not here to try to dictate to you. We're here to support you, whatever role that may be. And if you need some extra help, come to the TVA Institute, come to the Rotary Club meetings that we have down in Pontia, and we'll help any way we can. Thank you. Now, I have here a couple of books that'll help guide you. I invite you to take pictures of these books and go acquire them for yourselves. This book is written by Dr. Weerchai Nanakorn. He was the Secretary General of the Crown Property Bureau. He was also my teacher and my colleague during the Queen Circuit Royal Hemp Project, Royal Cannabis Project. You need this book. Then there's this book concerning the Thai traditional medicine side. But the most valuable book that'll give you insights and help guide you, probably the most valuable book is this one. And on the front cover of it, it says, Sufficiency Thinking, Thailand's Gift to an Unsustainable World by His Majesty King Bhumibol Adulyadej. That one right there. If you want to be successful in Thailand, no matter what your business is, you need to get this book. Because this will give you insights into the hearts and minds of the Thai people, right here. Because standing alone, whatever business you're into, standing alone like we do in the West won't work here. You need to be integrated. You need to be socially conscious and compassionate for the changes, social, economic changes that are taking place into Thailand. Okay? All right, thank you.